Okay, hello, this is session 5, interpreting error and diagnostic information in MySQL or MariaDB. Because this share the same source code, so the same can be used for MariaDB as well as MySQL. This is a common. What you should be learning by the end of the session, you should be able to set SQL mode to affect error output, interpret error messages, use show warnings and show error statement, examine MySQL diagnostic information, and use p-error utility to retrieve error details, which are operating system related errors. So one by one we'll go through these topics. Mainly there are 3 topics if you see: SQL modes, interpreting errors and warnings, and MySQL diagnostics. SQL modes. SQL modes affect SQL syntax and the other data validation checks. It is set with SQL mode variable. By starting MySQL with -SQL mode command line option, which is generally done if you start MySQL directly with MySQL, the commands which are actually used to start MySQL directly from the shell prompt, or by setting this option, which is more right approach to set this into options file, which is /etc/my.cnf. We put this under this file. By setting SQL mode variable at runtime also using set, that means it is specific to session also. You can set it at session level, at global level, or system level. By setting this SQL mode variable at runtime with set persist, with this is a new in MySQL 8. This was not there earlier. In MySQL 8, this set persist is a new concept introduced, which will retain the value after MySQL server restart. What will happen? This will put that value into auto.cnf file. SQL mode exists at a global level and session level also. New sessions use the global SQL mode by default. All users can change their own session SQL modes. Changing global SQL mode requires system variable admin and or super privilege. You can check the default mode. To display the current SQL mode, you can use select @ global SQL mode, global.sql mode. Similarly to session, you can check select at session.sql mode, and directly also you can type @ SQL mode. The default SQL mode is, this is the command at SQL prompt, select @ global.sql_mode. /g will give you in vertical way. So SQL mode is global SQL mode. SQL mode means global SQL mode, and this is the SQL mode. There are multiple values, only full group by, strict transaction tables, no 0 in date, no 0 date, error for division by 0, no engine substitution. Every SQL mode has its own implications, its own meaning. They affect the transaction, they affect how you execute the queries. By default, SQL mode for a new session is same as the global SQL mode. How do you set it? The value of SQL mode variable may be an empty string, name of a SQL mode, or multiple SQL mode names separated by commas. If the value is empty or contains more than one mode name, then it must be quoted. If the value contains a single mode, then quote is optional. If neither global nor session is specified, then default would be session, and they are not case sensitive. Like this is empty, this is single value, this is multiple values separated by comma. All 3 examples with different settings. This will be session level, this will be session level, but this will be global because we are using global keyword. Set global SQL mode equal to ignore space NC quotes. This is how we can set SQL modes. There is a strict mode, very good option for professional for production level systems. We use strict mode. Strict transaction tables or strict all tables is enabled. When this is done, what happens? When strict transaction tables or strict all tables is enabled, we need to understand. So when strict mode is not enabled, MySQL convert invalid values according to table structure and constraints. Like conversion take place when adding, replacing or updating existing data. That insert, replace, update, load data in file, or using alter table to change the column containing data. MySQL adjusts invalid values to the closest valid value, like out of range, null, or values of the wrong type. Based on generates a warning which you can view with show warnings. In strict mode, MySQL generates an error and abort the statement. This is what happens when you are not in strict mode. So problem is when you are not in strict mode, if you have put constant not null and you try to insert a null value, it will try to convert null to the closest value, which may be space or which may be 0 depending on the table structure. Similarly, if you try to invert integer into a character or character into integer, it will try to convert that also. So it will generate warnings. This is when you are not in strict mode. But when you are strict mode, it will not allow that inserts to happen. It will abort, it will error, it will generate error. In these statements, when you are not in strict mode, it will allow the insert but will generate warnings. So when you are not in strict mode, it will allow by converting these values to nearest match and then throwing a warning to you. This is not useful for production level scenarios. We should keep strict because it should not be allowed. Example, use world. We are working in world database, creating a table T, tiny integer, set SQL mode, strict mode, strict all tables. So you have set the SQL mode to strict. Now try to insert value T. Now tiny integer means you are using single byte. If you are using single byte, the value maximum value can be 0 to 256. If we are using signed, then it will be 0 to 128 because we are using only 0 to 127. So therefore, if you try to insert value 500 into this, it will be out of range, and that's why the value is not inserted. You will get message value out of range, value for the column I at row 1. If you remove the SQL mode, if you set blank, set SQL mode, blank value in space, without any space, double quote, single quote twice. So query OK. Now if you try to insert value 500, then it will insert the value and it will generate the highest value. It will set the nearest value which is allowed in this tiny integer. So you can expect I is 127. So this is inserted with a warning. As I said, you definitely would not want this kind of change, like 500 is converted to 127 in production. So therefore, this value is very rare. This SQL mode is very rare. In very specific use cases, we need to identify where it can be used. So therefore, right mode is either traditional or strict mode. That's what should be advisable, because in this SQL mode, blank SQL mode, it is accepting value 500 but actually storing 127. But yes, it will generate warning. No engine substitution SQL mode. This mode controls what happens when a statement such as create table or alter table specifies a storage engine which is not available. When it is enabled, an error occurs and the create table or alter table statement will fail. When it is disabled and an engine is unavailable, then what will happen? Create table, MySQL will use the default engine, but yes, it will generate a warning. Alter table will raise a warning, but table is not altered because you are trying to change the engine which is not available, and table already have some engine, and we are trying to alter that engine, so it will not be altered. So this is a very interesting case. If you are creating a table for the first time and the engine we are trying to use does not exist, then it will raise a warning. And if you are trying to alter a statement which already using some engine which is definitely the table was created so the engine exists, in that case it will not generate any, it will generate a warning, but it will not, table will not be altered. Other important SQL modes: ANSI. This ANSI, that is American National Standard Institute, this changes syntax and behavior to better conform to standard SQL. Real as float, pipes as concat, ANSI quotes, ignore space, and only full group by. These are all standard SQL, confirm this ANSI standard modes. Traditional, which is more common, which is advisable, which we use this only. This make SQL behave more like traditional SQL database system, raising errors instead of warnings when inserting incorrect value into a column, like strict transaction tables, strict all tables, no zero in date. So this is default behavior now, and in 5.5, MySQL 5.5, it was blank, but in MySQL 5.6, 5.7, this behavior is enabled. So earlier we used to demonstrate it without this, setting this value to blank. We used to demonstrate this error by MySQL errors and warning, show errors and show warning. But after MySQL 5.7 and now MySQL 8, we are not able to demonstrate that normal command of show warning and show error, because of this is the default behavior now. So in order to demonstrate that nowadays when I deliver training, I have to use the blank storage engine, blank the SQL mode first. Then only full group by does not allow queries when select list refer to columns that are not in group by clause. MySQL produces errors or warnings if a connection or statement fails. Clients display this information to assist you in troubleshooting, like select star from no such table. So you get this code, this is another code, and this is the text message. So one is SQL specific error code. This is MySQL specific error code. So error message above have three components. One is MySQL specific error code like 1146. Then SQL state error code, for example this 42S02. These codes are defined by SQL and ODBC standards. Not all MySQL error numbers have corresponding SQL state code. In this case, MySQL uses HY000, that is general error. Text messages that describe the problem, which is given here. Table does not exist. Now let's create a system. Create table A. I is integer, engine is MyIgem. If you are unprivileged user and you don't have permissions on that folder where the database is created, then you will get this kind of message: error 1 HY000, can't create or write to the file world this A391.sdi, operating system error number 13, permission denied. So this is operating system error that contains system specific error number and messages. There are multiple error codes, different region network not reachable, permission denied, space, no space left on the device. Every corresponding situation have an error code. How do we find those error code? That is definitely worth watching, and that's part of the session. Interpreting error messages. An information string is returned by statements that affect multiple rows. Let's try this. For example, we are just setting it blank first, which means no SQL mode right now. We are removing it. create table integers, I as integer, unsigned, not null. That means I am declaring integer I, which is not signed integer, which is unsigned integer, and null is not allowed. Now insert into integers values ABC minus 5 null. We are violating all the conditions. We are not inserting character. ABC is not integer. Unsigned, we are inserting minus 5. Not null, we are inserting null. So we are violating all the three conditions, all the three constants we put in while defining the table, and it will happen. It will allow this insert. Query OK, 3 rows inserted, but 3 warnings are also generated. So this happens when the SQL mode is not set properly. How can we display these warnings, and what these warnings are? How can we check for how long the warnings stay in the system? Worth watching. Set back the default SQL mode. This is the default SQL mode in quotes separated by comma. This should be in one line. Investigating error code with p-error utility, which is actually a command in Linux. The purpose of this program, p-error, is to show you information about the error code used by MySQL when error or warning occur. Again, error or warning occur, but operating system level. p-error is included with all MySQL distribution, MariaDB distributions. Use p-error to examine error codes, like create table A, integer, I as integer, engine myitem. You are not able to create this, you are getting this. Now how can we check that? At shell prompt you type this p-error 13. So these are different errors. You can check every multiple errors also. You can check p-error 1, 13, then 28 means no space left on drive, 64 means machine not on network, error code 2 means no such file or directory, error code 1 means operation not permitted, 13 means permission denied. So these are different, you will get detailed information about the error code which you receive. The p-error gives you the meaning of the error code displayed by MySQL. Warnings, errors and notes. An error occurs for select statement. For the delete statement, message is only a note. That is certainly true when the statement finishes, even though the statement did nothing. So select a star from no such table. Show warnings. So you will get warnings. It will display only the warnings. Drop table if exist. No such table. Show warning. That will show you all the warnings. To suppress generation of note type of warnings, like one row deleted, one row inserted, these are just notes. You can set this SQL underscore notes system variable to 0. Set SQL notes equal to 0. Troubleshooting syntax errors. You can use the error message to troubleshoot syntax errors in SQL statements. Example, error 1064 indicate a syntax error. Let's take this example. Select a star from country, where country like limit 5. Now we miss something here, and you are getting this error that 1064. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your MySQL server version of for the right syntax to use near limit 5 at line 1. That means you should look something near before and after limit 5, and the error will be somewhere there only. The hint near indicate the point where the MySQL server cannot recognize the syntax. Check the statement at the first word in the code and just before that word. So that means what exactly inside this and what is just before that. There is a missing operand between like and limit 5. As you can see, we have not given the expression here. So if the near is an empty string, the syntax error occurs at the end of the statement. If you don't see anything in this near, like when you say near this, so that means clearly the error is at the end of the statement. Show warning statement. MySQL warnings can be displayed with show warning statement. For example, warnings are generated for attempts to insert a character, string, or a negative integer, and null into a column that is defined as integer unsigned not null. The show warning statement provides information to help you understand what went wrong. For example, you can simply type show warnings and that will show all the warnings generated so far. Using show warnings, MySQL server generates a warning when it is not fully able to comply with the request or when an action might have intended side effects. Show warnings show the warnings resulting from the last statement. These are overwritten by subsequent non-diagnostic statements. Yes, that is an interesting point. These warnings will stay as long as until the new warnings are generated. The level column indicates the severity. It may be error, it may be warning or note. Show warning limit 1 to 1 shows only the second warning. The limit clause with an offset show scroll through the results as we normally do in MySQL. You can even use the functions like show count star, count of warnings, show the number of warnings the system has right now. Select @ warning underscore count also show the number of warning, but this is a non-diagnostic statement that will clear the warning. Now show warning example. Drop table, if exist, no such table, some dummy table. So query OK, 2 warning generated, type no warning, show warnings, and you will see both the warnings here, and they are note type because we are trying to delete something, whether table exists or not. This is not error. So their level is note, unknown table. Show count of warnings, you will see 2 warnings. Using show errors, the show error statement is similar to show warnings but display a message for which the level is error. Show error tends to produce less output than show warnings. Show errors, and you will see error code, table does not exist. Show error supports same features as show warnings like limit, count, and select the variable name @error underscore count. Last topic. SQL statement produce diagnostic information that populates the diagnostic area. The diagnostic area contains 2 types of diagnostic information: statement number, statement information, and condition information. Statement information have number and row count. Condition information have return SQL state, message text, and MySQL error number. So the statement information number is the number of condition area that have information. Row count, number of rows affected by the statement. And the condition information, conditions include return SQL state, that is, it is a string that indicates the SQL state value for the condition. Message text is the string that indicates the error message for the condition, and MySQL error number is an integer that indicates MySQL error code for the condition. Let's take example. Use show warnings or show errors to retrieve warning or error message in the diagnostic area. You can use get diagnostics to retrieve statement or condition information, or statement information to retrieve the number of conditions that and the row affected. For example, get diagnostics. In variable P1 I want to put the number, and P2 I want to put the row count. So I am putting the number and the row count in these 2, and I can use now select statement and I can display the value. Similarly, I can get condition information also, specify the condition number, and store the desired condition items in variables like get diagnostic condition 1 P3 returns equal state, another variable P3. P4 message text, P5 SQL error number. So we can display these errors. Now we can display the value of these variables with normal select statement. Now the example to understand what actually I was trying to convey. Drop table, no such table. Error number 1051, SQL state, unknown table. Get diagnostics, condition 1, P1 equal to return SQL state, P2 is message text, P3 is error number. And now I can select P1, P2, P3. I'll get proper column, and I can populate it. I can store it in the variables. I can put them into a table. This actually helps you in populating the data for log purpose. What all errors or logs were generated when they were generated. You can add some value. You can enhance this query for logging and audit purpose. Definitely that's a use case for retrieving diagnostic information and putting them into audit tables. That's all for this session 5, MariaDB on MySQL. To know more about me, visit the website rnsangwan.com. Thank you very much.